My father. My father likes to tell us this story about this rasta man who was in church one day, and he had on this big hat, right? And the pastor, the preacher of the church, was preaching up in the front, but he wouldn't let it go. He wanted the man to take his hat off, right? Told the man to take off his hat. The ushers came up and told him to take off his hat. And the man just kept refusing silently, right? And then so he made a big deal of it, came down from the pulpit and ripped the man's hat off, right? Because they're in church, you're supposed to have your hat off, typically. But he went and ripped the man's hat off. But the man had been eating peanuts. And he didn't have anywhere to put the shells, so he was stuffing them under his hat. So when the pastor ripped his hat off, the shells went flying everywhere, all over the floor. I know you can't see me because the show hasn't started yet, Rose. There's a countdown. So nonetheless, shells went flying everywhere, all over the floor, all over people, and it just became a big mess. And when everybody saw that, the whole church just broke out into a ruckus, right? All right, so now Will Smith, his wife Jada, people were reporting on this story, and they're going around the internet having the videos ripped down, right? Having the videos ripped down. But I just finished watching every single moment of that Red Table Talk. And there's so many juicy tidbits in there that has now expanded the story. Shay Love, if you really knew the couple, listen, I'm not going to say anything, but if you really knew the couple, you would know that what it is that we're talking about in this video is the truth, because they said it out of their own mouths. And the fact that you're coming here trying to name drop and pretend, right, as if you know more than what you do. Look, they admitted it. Jada was miserably unhappy in that relationship. Miserably. So sit down. Sit down. Nonetheless, so I just finished watching every single moment of that Red Table Talk, and there's so many juicy tidbits, including the way Willow speaks to her father and speaks about him behind his back. They just made it 10 times worse, just like the rasta with the cap and the peanut shells. They just made it 10 times worse because now there's so much more to show than just her crying down the aisle. There is a woman who has lived in a marriage in which she felt trapped. Her words. Her words. So if there's anybody who's going to come and try to combat me, come with information, because I have the horse's mouth speaking it. And there's a lot to be said about a person who, before they even hear what a person has to say, they come out screaming and hollering about something not being true. What's not true? What's not true? Tell me, what is not true? What have we said in this video? I've been telling a story about a rasta cap. These people out here, they done got knockout started. Hey. Uh-oh. What is going on? Because we've gone back to back, it looks like the text is waiting on approval to be sent out. So we're waiting on that. This message has been flagged for approval. All right. All right, the text notification hasn't gone out. Dang. Okay, it just went out. Text notification just went out, so we got 5 more minutes. So perfect. So that's fine. We got 5 minutes. So text notification squad, come on in. Hey, Sunday. Yeah, we had some fake name dropping person coming in trying to scream and say that what we're talking about is not true. And meanwhile, we ain't even got a chance to say nothing yet. These people out here be faking the funk if I ever seen the funk being faked. Let me get my lipstick together for this live because I am... All right, everybody should have gotten their text by now because it just... Uh-oh, I got seaweed all over my mouth. You know that seaweed be good. Oh, let me turn the music back up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my lipstick together. Hey, Juju. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Here we go. Final countdown. All right. Rebecca, I don't know who's bashing Jada. We're giving information about what exists. We ain't making anything up, and we're not saying that she's wrong. We're just showing what exists. You can make up your own mind from the little information, but this is really never about the people that we're showcasing. This is really about us analyzing ourselves. All right, here we go. Here we go, here we go. This thing is not trying to play me. Got 46 seconds. Thirty-seven seconds. You know what? It's like sometimes people just can't stand to hear that a woman has done something, a black woman, that is not 100% perfect and right and unscrutinizable. Come on, let's get this party started. Hey, 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 hey. hey, hey. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Tanya TKO. You know what? Let's get live on these other platforms before we turn up. Let's get this party continued. All right, we're live on LinkedIn. We're live on Twitter. And we are live on Facebook. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey. Listen, I am happy to be here. I am your host, Tanya TKO. And this is our second time trying this today. And let me tell you what happened. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they thought that they could bury this story. They took the video down off of Hollywood Unlocked. They took it down off of, World Star. They took it down from all of these other sites. Oh yes. They're coming for us bloggers. So make sure that, listen, support Black female content creators. I am your host, Tanya TKO, and I am a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. Today, we're using the Smiths as an example, but these self-love lessons are for us. It's never about them. It's about looking within yourself and analyzing your own life through the mirror that you see from other people, right? You know what? We needed to do this video first before we talked about the Ghost of Penis Past, where we're going to be talking about Jada Pinkett Smith and this obsession that she's had with Tupac, because this video is going to explain a lot. Jada Pinkett Smith never wanted to get married. There are people who are coming out and they're like, oh, Tanya, this is not true. What you're talking about? This, that. Oh, no. But listen, they opened up a bigger can of worms by taking down the videos. Because now what they forced me to do was they forced me to watch the entire Red Table Talk. And there are more tidbits than just the 5-minute clip that had gone viral online. There's more to the story than just that, including the way Willow speaks about her father when he's not there to her mother. And you can see that there is this camaraderie that exists between the disrespect of Will. Oh, yes. So Smiths, you should have never taken down, because I was only going to play the 5-minute video. But what I need you all to do is I need you to buckle up, buttercups, because there's a lot that we're going to go through. This video is going to be at least an hour long. So put aside some time to watch this, because there's so many different pieces. Before we talk about this absurd, this unfathomable, this inexplicable obsession she has with Tupac, because as some of you were saying, yes, we're talking about the ghost of penis past, but it was a ghost penis in the present, because she and he never had intercourse. They weren't even a match, but yet she's still here in 2020 something crying about Tupac, thinking about him every day. And her own daughter at the age of 11 knew about Tupac and was writing letters to him to please come save her mama. Listen, oh, come on. So that she and her mother could be happy. She wanted Tupac to come back from the dead. So that some of you are talking about my bunny ears. Yes. This is in celebration of Ishtar, which is coming up this Sunday. You know, the holiday of the goddess of fertility, where these religions told you that pagan was bad, when pagan is just honoring nature, being in line with nature. And then they took the very same pagan holidays and incorporated them. This is why we have bunnies and eggs and Christmas trees and balls. This is why we have all of that. But that's neither here nor there. This is not religion class today. This is going to be a class on not settling, right? Here, because I have a lot of clips. that I want to show you all today. Oh, yes. Mama has a lot of clips. So welcome in, everybody. Go ahead and thumbs up the video. I want you all to see this starting at 33 seconds. I want you to tell me what you pick up on, right? So Will Smith is coming to be on the Red Table Talk. This is the Red Table Talk where they were talking where Jada exposed herself and how she never wanted to be married. There's a few different things that I want you to look at. And the very first thing that I want you to look at is the way Willow speaks about her father. Let's listen, for those of you who don't know, I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a life coach with a specialty in self-love and relationship coaching. So here, let's jump right into this here.
Thank you.
I just hope that Daddy isn't making jokes the whole time.
I said that too.
Well, it should be interesting. I mean, this is the first time we're actually...
All right. I want you all to just tell me, what do you pick up on from just that one little clip right there? What do you pick up on? Let me rewind that for you, because Will is all excited about coming to the Red Table Talk. This was the first time that he had actually gone on the Red Table Talk. And we're going to play a lot of clips. So don't you worry, because just like I said in the pre-intro, they made it worse by taking down other people's videos, because I had a chance to watch every single second of this one. And there's a lot of lessons in here that we need to latch on to. So here, let's take a look at this.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just hope that Daddy isn't making jokes the whole time.
I said that too.
Well, it should be interesting. I mean, this is the first time we're actually talking about it.
All right. What do you pick up on? Rewind that a few times and look at Willow's face. She looks annoyed with her own father. What attitude is she emulating? That she's annoyed with her father and her father's joking mannerism. As a matter of fact, let me play a little bit more, because I want you to see he's excited about being on the Red Table Talk. He's making some boxer jokes. And remember, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was a comedian, right? Grandmother in on it too. Look. All the matriarchs of the family gathered together discussing Will in this way. And Jada's like, oh no, well, he says, but Willow got this from somewhere. Don't worry. We're gonna, look, I got all the timestamps right here. Don't you worry. I got you. Here, look.
So I'm ready. Somebody scream, you the best, champ. Somebody scream. Thank you. Thank you.
I just hope that Daddy isn't making jokes the whole time.
I said that too.
Well, it should be interesting. I mean, this is the first time we're actually talking about our unique union.
All right. So, let's not go too far. I want you to hear something else, right? Listen to this.
Been watching all your talks, people crying and breaking down. You're not breaking me today, Jada.
I've broken you enough.
In every joke, there's a little bit of truth, isn't there? What did she... this is what I'm saying. Take the videos down if you want, but we have already seen, and the people who are on here right now, there are about 1,000 people on this broadcast between the platforms. What is it that you heard? And he's joking, he's laughing. What did you hear? I mean, because we already know what it is.
Breaking down. You're not breaking me today, Jada.
I've broken you enough.
Oh, yeah. In every joke, there's a little bit of truth, isn't there? All right, let's jump. I want you to hear this next thing. Because remember Jada had the camera up in the man's face, right? Remember Jada had the camera, we did the video. Remember Jada had the camera up in the man's face, right? And he was like, please don't record me. And she was like, you see this foolishness I got all up in the man's face. Let's listen to this. I want you to pay attention to what it is that we hear.
You know, I've been away for a while, been at work. I was very surprised that the house wasn't a house no more. It's red.
It's a set. It's a set. Just one part of it, though.
You look spectacular today, Lola.
All right. What did we just hear? Will Smith was away at work. He came back and was surprised by what? That his house had been converted into a set. Meanwhile, his wife, her mother, and his daughter are all gathered around filming Red Table Talks for goodness knows how long. While he's away at work, he comes back his house. Did they consult him? Had he seen images or videos or anything of that? This is the man of the house, right? But he comes home and he's surprised that his house is now a set. Oh, listen. You should have never let me see this whole video, Jada. You should have never taken down those other ones. But let's continue. Listen, we'll play that
House
again.
no more. It's red.
It's a set. It's a set. Just one part of it, though.
Look her
You look
face.
spectacular.
And I want you to hear this. He says, you look spectacular, by the way. right? Look at how she responds. Listen. He's like, you look spectacular, by the way. And you know what? I got no sympathy from men in terms of what it is that they allow to happen in their lives, because it's a choice. He is choosing her. And men, they fall in love with their eyes, their belly, their penis, all types of things except for their spirit and intuition and stuff that makes sense. So listen, he fell in love with his eyes, and let's continue.
Hey, for a while, I've been at work. I was very surprised that the house wasn't a house no more. It's red.
It's a set. It's a set. Just one part of it, though.
You look spectacular today, love.
Aw, thank you, Willard.
You do.
Every lady here knows that. Aw. Typically, when somebody gives you a compliment about how amazing you look, and they're looking good too, what do you say? Has anybody ever heard Jada complimenting Will on his looks, on his whatever? One of the things that I think Will is a funny guy, and she wasn't really into the funny guy. I think she was really more into the bad boy. I think she liked a guy with a little bit more edge. Listen, I understand, because you all know my type. You know my type is the workaholic introvert. You know that. I don't like funny men either. I don't like men who are ha 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 ha, life of the party. Ha, ha, ha. I don't like those type of men either. That's fine. I understand. It's a turn off to me. I understand. So I understand. But she's calling him Willard. He's like, you look spectacular. She's like, oh, the same way, where you give the auntie hugs with your arms all the way up in the front and you're patting them on the back, just like that. Oh, thank you, Willard. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then let's jump over to this, right? She was introduced to him, but look, they're talking about how their relationship first began. Look at how she's playing him. Listen to this madness.
And I remember the first time I saw you.
I actually think I dated Alfonso.
You went on a date with Alfonso,
yeah,
yes.
I think I went on one. I think I went on one date together.
And he took you on a motorcycle or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow. My memory is I dated a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Easy.
Yeah, but we went on one date.
All right, I've had enough of the red.
You know what? What did you all pick up there? They're talking about how they met. He starts out the conversation talking about the very first time I saw you, blah, blah, blah. Because, of course, he was infatuated, right? She starts talking about how she went out on a date with Alfonso Ribeiro. Mr. Not Unusual to be loved. She went out on a date with Mr. She doesn't even remember it. But she finishes up the sentence by, I went out with a lot of... My God, that's the way you talk in front of to your husband? Ladies, come on. What man is gonna want to hear about the many conquests of his wife? We got a lot to go through, so I'll just play that back one more time. Then he's like, oh, I'm gonna get up from the red. Look his face. She's like, I went out with, I think so. I went out with a lot. Look his face. He's like, Jesus, Jada? And the crazy part about it is that Will Smith is so handsome. He has really grown into his looks. He had the whole skinny, big ear thing going on when he was young, but he has grown into a man. But, listen, whatever. But you know what? I can't say he chose Jada based on looks and whatnot, because he felt it in his spirit they were supposed to be together. So whatever. I applaud them both. Listen.
And I remember the first time I saw you.
I actually think I dated Alfonso.
You went on a date with Alfonso,
yeah,
yes.
I think I went on one. I think I went on one date together.
And he took you on a motorcycle or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow. My memory is I dated a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Easy.
Yeah, but we went on one date.
All right, I've had enough of the red tape.
So let's continue going forward, because I want to get to the part. So here we go. So basically here he's talking about how he uses his spirit to know whether or not him and somebody's going to have a long-term relationship.
Relationship can be exponential. The first night with Jazzy Jeff.
Right.
With 15 minutes, I was like, yo, me and that dude can create
Right.
Exactly.
right? I just feel it and I know it when somebody is right for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
First night I met Alfonso, like we were playing, I was like, me and that dude are magic.
Right.
When I saw you on Different World, it was that thing. And I don't know what it is, that the bell rings, and I knew that there was something in our energy that would be magic.
Wow.
And so I was like, Alf, hook it up. Fresh Prince taped on Friday nights, and Different World taped on
I think
Thursday.
Thursdays, yeah.
Thursday, so it was the night before, so Alf was like, yo, I can set the meeting up. So
Yeah, so the crazy part about it is that Alfonso Ribeiro then has another guy set the meeting up. The guy, so listen, basically what ended up happening is the guy who was supposed to introduce him to Jada came there that night with Sherry. Sherry happened to be his first wife. So he never got to meet Jada the first night. He actually started hanging out with Sherry. They got together and then they had Trey, right? That's how the story goes. I'm just speeding it up for you all so that we can get into the nitty gritty because there's a lot that we need to go through, right? So let's see here. Let's get forward. All right. So then him and Jada reconnected. I want you to take a look at Jada's face. There's something going on. She is not something going on. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, but if you see her face, it looks cringe. Her face is like cringe, right? Nonetheless, so here.
time was probably, I think Dwayne and Tisha had a thing at the baked potato.
Yep.
And we sat down at the baked potato.
And talked.
And we talked. There was a really unique, beautiful power.
Yeah.
We had that moment and we connected, but I was married and it was, you know.
Damn.
And we
That
just,
was it.
that was it.
We did not have an affair.
We did not have an
while
affair.
He was married.
Nope,
Let's be
not at
clear
all.
about that.
Not at all. It was just
Okay, so I want you all to just, they made it irrefutably clear that they did not have an affair, right? All right. So then the next night he was out to dinner with his wife, Sherry, right? So listen.
from dinner when I had a realization that I wasn't with the person I was supposed to be with.
But you would have stayed with her forever.
Forever. I would have never gotten divorced.
Yep.
Wow.
I went in the bathroom at the Palm and I broke down in tears.
Wow.
Right.
And I was sitting in a stall in the restaurant and I was crying uncontrollably and then laughing, like, what the heck is wrong with me? And I was crying and laughing. And it's like, I knew that was the woman I was supposed to be with, but I was never getting divorced.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get divorced.
Right.
Like all the emotions.
All the emotions at one time.
Like
I was
happy
like,
that you figured it out.
figured it out,
But then.
devastated emotionally. And then I had
it would
to,
never come to fruition.
it was never
come
going
to
to happen.
fruition.
I just had to get my
I just-
gangster back together. I got myself together.
I just want you all to hear the audio because if they're taking people's videos down, I don't want to play too much of the video. So just listen to the audio, okay?
Went back out, sat down with Cherie, and started going back on with my life.
Yep. Yep. And then she divorced you.
And then Cherie filed for divorce. She hit me hard. Cherie filed for divorce on Valentine's Day.
And listen.
I was like, ouch, ouch. And I still told her, I said, no,
Yeah.
Wow.
you can't have a divorce. And she hit me with so you're gonna make somebody stay with you who doesn't love you. And I was like, what? I'm actually
All right.
not.
So basically,
Nope, I'm not.
he doesn't believe in divorce. He didn't divorce his first wife. I just wanted to clear up all of that, right? He says he doesn't get divorced, blah, 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 blah. I want you to hear this next part, right? Because this part I thought was very significant, right? Listen.
I had bought a
You
house.
bought a house in Baltimore. She was not going to live in Hollywood. She had left the business and bought a farm in
God.
Baltimore.
That's amazing.
I bought a farm.
I said, hey, Jada, what's up? It's Will. She said, hey, how you doing? I said, good. I said, are you seeing anybody?
Oh my God.
And she said, no. I said, cool, you're seeing me now.
And my dumb
And she
ass was
said,
like, okay.
And my dumb ass was like, okay.
My dumb ass.
She got on a plane, came back to L.A.
And never
never
left.
spent one
Listen.
night in her farm in Baltimore.
No.
Never spent one
Never
night in the house she
completed the
bought.
That's actually kind of sad. I always know how much you wanted to have that kind of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's okay
I know.
Because I got you.
I know. But
Okay,
it's
so
just like,
I just want you to pay attention to what it is that we're hearing. We're setting up a narrative. She had bought a farm. That's the life that she wanted. She was out of Hollywood. Remember, she was acting like that tough little cutie on A Different World. She was out of Hollywood. She bought a farm. She likes Baltimore. She likes the energy of Baltimore. She loved her little Tupac love affair, right? Or platonic love affair, right? That's the life that she wanted, right? And he then brought her back to Hollywood. And what did she say? She was like, that's okay because I got, what did she get? When she talks about the life that she has now and the concessions that she made, what does she talk about? She talks about how she has the children. That's what she talks about. She talks about how she had the children and she's like, that's okay because I got you too. Look her face. Look, she looks so happy, don't she? Not. She doesn't look happy. But I mean, a lot of mothers are stressed out or whatever, and I understand. But I want you to hear a little bit more because we're setting up the full, excuse me, I haven't eaten today. I got my belly is empty. We're setting up the full picture, right? So nonetheless, here, so Willow even knows how much she wanted that farm life.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
exactly.
And then we started dating, and then I got pregnant.
Yeah.
Listen,
2 years in. I knew the moment after the act
Yeah.
that I was pregnant. The moment. But
was
I knew
big.
that night, and he didn't believe me, but I knew. And it was almost like, those big locks on a bank?
Yeah.
Those big turning locks? I could feel that in my womb, in my uterus. And
But
I
it was
like,
it was literally
Yeah.
4 seconds after we had sex, and she goes,
woman knows.
I said, babe, you okay? She's like, I'm pregnant. I was like, babe, I think scientifically you're not pregnant. Yet.
I cried that whole night.
Damn.
She cried all night
I
because
cried
she was
all
pregnant
night
and
long.
she knew.
I was like,
My life is
my
never
life
going to be
is
the same.
never going to be the same.
Yeah,
Damn.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
Of
he
course
thought it was
you would think it was
hilarious.
funny.
All right. Pay attention. How does Willow speak to her father? How does she speak to her father? The tone, the face, the implication. I mean, listen, I love my father dearly. I do. My father is a jokey kind of guy, right? My father's very funny. Some of you who came to the Christmas party got a chance to meet him. He's always telling jokes, right? My father's a funny dude. However, peep her face. She's talking to her father. Let's rewind that a little bit. Look at Willow. Look at how she talks to him.
It'll be the same.
Yeah,
Damn.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
Of
he
course
thought it was
you would think it was
hilarious.
funny.
I was like, what?
That ain't your friend. That's not your friend. That's your father. Of course, you would think that. What? That's how you talk to Pot Dukes? I don't know what to say. This is. I feel so bad for Willard, man. Listen. Let's continue forward.
Am I going to do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to get married, but
We only got married because Gammy was crying.
Why did they get married? Listen, for all the Will and Jada fans out there, look, I get it. But let's call a thing a thing. Why did they say they got married? Will said the only reason they got married is because who was crying? Gammy. Gammy was crying. She was pregnant. Her daughter was pregnant. She's 20 something. And she's pregnant by some Hollywood dude. And they're not married. Her mother was crying.
want to get married, but
We only got married because Gammy was crying.
well, Gammy, this is what happened. It was almost as if Gammy was like, "You have to get married, so let's talk about the wedding."
I mean, am I exaggerating? Did I speak something that wasn't true? She didn't want to get married. I need you to listen to the rest of this. Make this note that we are at 25 minutes in. I just want you to make the note so that you can refer back to this again, right?
It was almost like that. And
Like she completely just was like, that's not a reality
and
where you're not
I was
married.
under so much pressure, you know, being a young actress, being
Yeah.
young, and I was just like
pregnant.
And I was just like, I didn't know what to do. But I just knew, I was like, I never wanted to be married.
Is it that she didn't want a wedding? What did she just say? Quote her words. Quote her words. Did she ever want to be married? I mean, she says it. Come on. Look at his face. He's like, damn, I effed up. What have I done?
But I just knew, I was like, I never wanted to be married.
I don't remember that. I remember feeling very strongly and wanting you guys to be married. I do remember that. But
Yes.
I don't remember your rejection of the idea of marriage. I remember the rejection of the idea of a wedding.
I didn't want a
But
wedding
not
either.
a
She didn't want it,
I was
yeah.
like, I don't want to.
I need you to hear, like, come on. What did she say about the wedding? She says, I didn't want a wedding. I want you to hear the word that she said. Because there are people who are going to come and try to gaslight you and say, oh, no, it's that she didn't want a wedding, but she did want to be married. Listen to what it is that she says.
Your rejection of the
Listen.
idea of marriage. I remember the rejection of the idea of a wedding.
I didn't want a
But
wedding
not
either.
a
She didn't want it,
I was
yeah.
like, I don't want to get married. And now Gammy done gone to Will crying about, I don't want to have a wedding. And now I'm being forced to have a wedding when really I just wanted it to be.
All right. I didn't want to have a wedding either. Now I'm being forced to have a wedding because Gammy has gone to Will crying about how I don't want to have a wedding. And then she conceded. So she conceded to having a wedding because her mother made no other option. And then she said that she wanted to get married on a hilltop or mountaintop.
Be the two of us on a mountain because I was like, this is serious business.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I didn't respect your wishes. It was totally a selfish. I'll never have that experience of my daughter getting married
Right.
because you were my only child. But that was so selfish.
It's okay. I mean,
It was the right call.
it was the right
I know
call.
it was the right
It was
call
the right
for you
call.
to marry,
Yeah,
but not
yeah.
necessarily. That's
Oh,
what I'm
to have a
talking
wedding,
about.
yeah.
To have a wedding, because the wedding was horrible.
Because
It was a horrible wedding.
It was a mess. Jada was sick. She was very unpleasant. Wouldn't cope. But she was sick.
She was
She
sick, yeah.
didn't cooperate with
You were 6 months
anything.
pregnant at the wedding.
No, I was.
So she was unpleasant. She was uncooperative. She was crying down the aisle. She was unhappy. She didn't want to get married and she didn't want a wedding either. She was still in love with Tupac. When we do the video, The Ghost of Penis Past, where we show how obsessed she was and has always been with Tupac, I'm going to show you a clip where she called Tupac and begged him not to hurt Will. And I want you to hear Tupac's response. We got some footage. I want you to hear Tupac's response when she called him up and was like, please don't hurt Will. I want you to see his response, all right? So, listen, I hear the apples going off, so we are going to, we might as well just go ahead and do the Cash Apps now. Let's go ahead and do that. What is that I hear? Yes. All right. So if you want to send an apple during the broadcast, the link to the Cash App is below. It's also going across the screen, which is at Tanya TKO. And so Mrs. Akechi says, are you also reporting his affairs with white women? Listen, if you got some receipts, listen, we want to paint the full picture. So we know that he had fallen in love with his co-star. This is when he was married to Cherie. He'd fallen in love with his co-star from that movie that he was in, The Sound of Night or something like that. The woman who was in Greece. He had fallen in love with her, but when he told her about it, she was like, "Oh, how flattering." But she wasn't with it. She wasn't with it. But let's talk about it. Go to TanyaTKO.com, click on contact, and send me some receipts if you got that, Mrs. Akechi. This is send the receipts. You know, I love things that are backed up and substantiated. So absolutely send it through. Send it through. All right. Let's get back to this story, right? So, here.
How many?
3 months.
3 months pregnant.
So Rebecca is saying, Tanya's more interested in bashing the black women. Listen, you don't know me very well, dear. Just come with the receipts. Because at the end of the day, this is really only about viewing yourself. That's about it. That's about it. But simmer down, dear. We haven't had a block party this broadcast yet. But simmer down. Listen, don't come to my broadcast talking about things that you don't know. Because I got penis toters dragging their balls and beating me against the back with them, talking about how much I hate black men. Now I got women trying to smear their vaginas on me, talking about I hate black women. Choose. Who do I hate? I'm a self-love specialist. I want you to love yourself by looking at some of the things that other people do that we can self-reflect on and do differently. Like, come on.
Yeah, so she was having
My
all that
first
morning
trimester
sickness.
was
Oh, it was horrible.
And I was so upset that I had to have a wedding. I
Yeah.
was so pissed.
We
went crying down the freaking...
She keeps going on. They're trying to talk about something else and she's bringing it back up. I was so angry I had to have a wedding. Okay.
I'll get married.
And Will is so foolish. He's
Yeah,
laughing.
so she was having
My
all that
first
morning
trimester
sickness.
was
Oh, it was horrible.
And I was so upset that I had to have a wedding. I was so pissed. I went crying down the freaking aisle.
I'll get married.
Cried the whole way.
Will thinks it's
down
like,
the aisle.
I was like,
And Will's
hey.
like, hey. I'm like,
She'll be all right, don't worry.
You hear that?
Because that was one question.
He's like, yeah, she'll be all right. Will she, though? Will she? Come on. You see, men love to have these quote unquote hard to get women, but it's like, choose a woman who also chooses you. This is one of the self-love lessons. We're going to do a pop quiz at the end. Men love, so start looking at and thinking about the self-love lessons. Men love these women who don't want them. He was just so happy that he accomplished his goal that he didn't even care that she's crying down the aisle. He's like, oh, she'll be all right, right? No, she wasn't all right. Look, 20 years later, and her biggest saving grace was that her children came out of this. Not even you, son. Not even you. Now you up on award shows, slapping people up. I want you to hear his stance on nonviolence and non-cursing. Meanwhile, we heard him dropping MF bombs on the TV. So let's continue. Where's my display? There we go. Look, this is how he was so giddy.
She'll be all right, don't worry.
Yeah, because that was one question I forgot to ask. She said that she never wanted to get married. Did you?
There wasn't a day in my life that I wanted anything other than being married and having a family.
Wow.
From
Well, thank the good Lord.
literally 5 years old, I was picturing what my family would be.
Wow.
What was the fundamental bump about the idea of marriage in general that you were against?
I just never really agreed with the construct.
Exactly.
I just don't agree.
I want you to take a look. I want you to take a look. They've been married, 22 years? This seems like the first time that he's hearing this. Look his face. Does this sound like this is a conversation they had before? Look at his face. He looks like he sincerely wants to know, what is it about marriage that you just didn't like? And I want you to see his face. He looks like he's hearing this for the first time.
Than being married and having a family.
Wow.
From like,
Well, thank the good Lord.
literally 5 years old, I was picturing.
So I want you to pay attention. From the time that Will was 5 years old, he was picturing being married. So these types of men, right? I want you to pay attention at how we make these choices to keep ourselves miserable. He could have chosen anyone. He chose a woman who did not want to get married. They were dating for 2 years before she got pregnant. He got with a woman who cried her way down the aisle, who was pining for another man, who was at this point had been dead a few months. And then now she's walking down the aisle, pregnant with his child, crying, and he's giddy, like she'll be all right. But these are the choices that many people make. They get a person who is the complete opposite because there's a part of them that feels that they have to act out these psychodramas from when we were young and finally in our relationships get them to go the right way. But nonetheless. And somebody's saying Willow shouldn't be a part of the conversation. Look, Willow is very grown acting, and the way she behaves, I just be like, please, can someone get her off of this table? But, you know, they bring in the 3 generations of people. That's why the show is so popular, because Willow speaks for the 20s and teens people. Jada speaks for the 40s and 50s, and the mother speaks for the 60s, 65s, or however old her mother is. Nonetheless, let's continue.
What my family would be.
Wow.
What was
Listen, look at his
the
face.
fundamental bump about the idea of marriage in general that you were against?
I just never really agreed with the construct.
Exactly.
I just don't agree with it. I never have.
Does that sound like they've had this conversation before? Honestly, rewind it, look at his face.
Still don't.
Yeah.
Till death do us part is real for me. It's just all of the rules and
It's
all
like
of the
you're supposed
ideas.
to do this
Right.
as a wife. You're
You
supposed
know,
to do this
yeah,
as a husband. You're supposed to do.
Why is Willow talking? Why is Willow speaking? You're supposed to do this as a wife. You're supposed to do this as a husband. Let your mama talk. I want to hear her point of view.
Do this.
Instead of
Right.
And
really
what you
just
can't do.
And what you can't do,
exactly
right, absolutely.
because of this title, wife is a
The
very
defi- the-
difficult.
the accepted
conventional definition
of a
of
wife.
wife.
Right.
The paradigm.
In the
Yes.
paradigm, I'm not that.
Right. I don't know if I've ever said this.
Listen. She says the paradigm of a wife, she is not that, right? I just want you to pay attention. I'm going to pull something else up right now. I'm going to go to my history, right? Right? Okay. I want you to see this right here. Will Smith confirmed he and Jada Pinkett Smith have an open relationship and admitted she's never believed in a conventional marriage a year on from that entanglement drama. This is why I think it's important for us to hear a lot of what went on inside of this video, because did Jada want to be married? No. Did she want a wedding? No. Did she think of herself as a conventional wife? No. And then now we see this. She's never believed in a conventional marriage. So who do you think is the one pushing for an open relationship? Does Will, when Will was 5 years old and he was thinking about marriage, do you think he was thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to have my wife underneath other men? Do you think he was thinking that? Do you think he was thinking that his idea of marriage is to, who knows, go gallivanting? They said that they don't cheat, you know, that he didn't cheat with Jada, but somebody said that was a lie. I don't know. Me no know. But nonetheless, let's continue going forward. Let's continue.
Know how I'm a scientist, so everything is science for me.
Yes.
I read something when we first got together that the most successful men in history have been married.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And
Listen.
for me, I knew that I would squander my life if I was running around.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way my mind...
Yeah, Daddy. Yeah. I don't understand why this, but you know what? She brings in the younger generation. No, the younger generation is not even on Facebook. So I don't even know what is going on.
mind works, I can only excel for a woman.
Aww.
Like I can't.
You see the way she patronizes her dad? Ugh. Nonetheless, I don't care to rewind that part.
Men are like that though.
Yeah.
I think women are true motivators
Yeah.
for
Yes.
men.
And the one thing that I think has been the greatest motivator and asset for me with you is your absolute refusal to accept anything from me other than the best that I could possibly be.
Of course, she cracking that whip behind the scenes. Of course she is. So then they go on to talk about how they go on to talk about you know, they go on to talk about how they made a lot of money together, but the marriage wasn't happy. And that Will was successful financially, but the marriage was failing. You know, I think I'm going to do a part 2 because we've been on here for an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let us get out of this video, and then we're going to come back and do a part 2 because there's more that we need to discuss. Because Jada Pinkett Smith cussed Will the F out when they first got together, and she indicated that she wanted to be in an abusive relationship through her actions, right? At least verbally abusive. And Will had to shut it down. But I want you all to take a look at how that came about, right? So from here, I want you all to start pop quiz time. We're going to grab the apples that have come in, right? Let's grab those right now. What is that I hear? All right, let's grab these 2 apples. Ashley sends $2 and says she resents him. She should have put herself first. Yes. There is a lot of resentment that exists in this relationship. Sydney, hey Sydney, I remember you from the earrings photo during Christmas time. Welcome, I remember the name. All right, so Sydney says his humor is dismissive of Jada's feelings. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this relationship, and there's more than meets the eye. More than meets the eye. So thank you, I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to jump out of this video. Let me just put the heart up so I know that I got this one already. We're going to jump out of this video, and then we're going to come back and talk about Will's stance on abuse, on cursing, and how Will has a bad temper. Will has a very, very bad temper that he has had to keep in check. So we're going to talk about that and how it relates to the Oscars. So listen, let's get out of here. Let's come on. I want to see, go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is what? What is the self-love lesson? Go ahead and type SLL for self-love lesson and put the self-love lesson up that you gathered. I want to see the self-love lesson. A. Come on, it's a little bit of a delay, but I want to see the self-love lesson that you all, let's. Oh, you know what? Will is controlling. Because Will had an idea of marriage and family that was making Jada miserable, and he left her there with the children while he continued on his merry way, working, and she was the one. This is why she had that look on her face. Listen, hey, come on. Self-love lesson, be true to you. Yes. Yes, come on, be true to you. Let these self-love lessons roll. All right, come on. Your life is yours after 18. No one is forcing you to live your life. Exactly. Don't just type SLL. Put the lesson. A. Always put yourself first and don't settle. Never force someone to love you. Well, you can't force anyone to love you, but you can try to force someone to love you. All right. Don't bring kids into, keep your private life private. Don't marry a man you don't respect. Hey, don't let anyone force you to get married. What's the self-love lessons? Come on. Be mindful of your life, of the life you want to have. Don't allow anyone to destroy your goals. He did all of this to achieve an Oscar. And then it went by too fast. So come on. Hey. How does the Roger Rabbit go? That's the Roger Rabbit, right? Wait, I think that's the Roger Rabbit. As a man, always sign a prenup. Okay. If you're in the black community, it's the women who are making more money in most of the marriages. So don't marry anyone you don't love. I love Tanya's bunny hop. Single women will make excuses for single women. Shut up, Bilbo. Don't take advice that goes against how you feel. Come on, type SLL. Come on. That's the Roger Rabbit, right? Listen, this is this is the Roger Rabbit, right? That's the Roger Rabbit. Come on. If someone truly loves you, they'll be supportive in whatever you do.
Right, and vice versa.
Yeah, I remember.
Sorry, that started playing out of nowhere. All right, let's see. One more, and then I'm gonna tell you the self-love lesson. Don't stay married to someone who keeps telling you in more than one way they want out. They both do not believe in divorce. Come on, recognize a $3 bill. Oh, there's an apple that's coming in as we're getting out of here. Like before you leave. SLL, Tanya's the best. Children need to stay out of grown folk conversation. Listen, don't complain to make excuses to mistreat your spouse later. Children need to... Getting pregnant doesn't mean you have to stay pregnant. Take your life in your own hands. Oh, my. No one is perfect no matter how they act. Yes, absolutely. 45 seconds. Come on. Type your self-love lessons in. Come on. Hey. Let me try to do the kid and play. Let's see. Hey. Okay. That's too much. Love yourself enough to recognize when others don't. I am going to talk about the ghost of penis past, but this video needed to be seen first. Be friends with your significant other over anything. I do believe that they are friends, and I believe that they are meant to be together. Come on, 10 more seconds. Know who you're marrying. SLL, don't settle. All right, perfect. All right, so let me go ahead and give you all what I believe are the self-love lessons from the video. This is what I believe, right? All right. The self-love lesson that I believe that we saw in this video are a few different things, right? Continue to have conversations with your partner along the way to see what page they're on, and not just think that, the preferences that they're showing you. Sometimes people, listen, we communicate a lot with our actions. Now, Will built a family for them. We're going to talk about that in part 2 of this video. He built a family for them and built a house that he says was for her. But if he knew that she really wanted to be on a farm, where was the farm? Where was that she wanted to fill her soul? And we ourselves, we really have to look within ourselves to figure out what it is that we want deep down inside, even if it seems unconventional to other people. Me personally, I love living in an RV. I love waking up in different cities under different skies and different states and in different parts of the world. That's what I have, a nomadic traveling soul. And I am not the let's stay in one area type. That's not me. And it took me a long time to figure out that I wanted a life that was different than that, right? And so never be afraid to dig deep and figure out what is it that you like for you. How do you like to roll and get down? You know, me, you see me with makeup on in this video, but for the most part, like when I come and do impromptu videos, like I don't even have on foundation. I make sure that I keep my skin nice and clear with the vitamin E that I sell once a year, which is sold out at the moment and won't be selling again until later in the year, right? I don't like having a bunch of makeup on. I like keeping my skin clear. I love salads and veggies, and I love eating a vegetarian diet. I love these things, right? And I know that I am spiritual, non-religious. These are things that I love. You have to really get to know yourself. You know what I mean? And know that what it is that you like is okay. No matter what it is, know that it is okay. And be comfortable, because first you have to know that worth having you are worth honoring what it is that you like without thinking that there's anything wrong with it. I personally like my hair short. I recently met a guy who was like, yeah, well, I prefer women who have longer hair. And I'm like, that is not me. Look, look how good I look with short hair. I am perfect. I'm flawless. The short hair, like when I came back from my healing hiatus, the first thing that I did, well, I wanted to get my hair done in a shop to get big finger waves for my photo shoot, but I never ended up doing that because I had to shave my head. One of the first things that I did was shave my head. And when I shaved my head, I could just feel it in my heart. I was just like, I could just feel like a relief, right? When I shaved my head. I like my hair short. Everybody doesn't, right? Honor yourself. It took me a long time to really find what it is that I truly like. And you have got to dig deep within yourself and figure out what you like. And have these open, honest conversations, because as we said, it looked like this was the first time that Will had asked her this question on the Red Table Talk. Yet, in the next part, you're going to see they talk for hours, and they can talk for hours. And I know what that's like, because recently listen, I'm taking applications for Mr. Knockout. And recently I met a person whom I was able to have those deep, hours-long conversations with. And I was like, yeah, this is a deal breaker for me. I must have a man that I can communicate deeply with. I need that. I need to be able to truly understand my partner and be understood by my partner. I need to be able to have those deep conversations. There's another young man who I was interviewing behind the scenes, and he watches my videos, but listen, I'm going to tell the truth, as I do tell the truth behind the scenes, right? And I spoke to him and I told him what it is that I need and how I need it. And he got all babyish. Oh, I'm just going to become my old self, this, that, and the other. It's like far too many men think that women like assholes. No, people who don't love themselves like people who don't treat them well. I like to be treated well. I know my worth, right? I know my worth. And so he decided that he was going to go flip the script. And I'm like, listen, that's unacceptable. There's too many other people. Listen, there are too many other people who have my ear. There are too many other people who I am trying to figure out who is a good fit. And I think I might be doing that matchmaking show where I work with some matchmakers to go and get myself matched, because it's it's a battlefield out here. I don't want to say it's a battlefield. I don't want to say it's a battlefield, but it's like you have to, it's so hit or miss. There's so many people in this world and you never really know where your partner or mate might be. But nonetheless, so yeah, so it's like I need to be able to have deep, open, honest conversations. But then ladies and men as well, you have to be able to put yourself in a position ego-wise that you are able to hear those deep conversations, those truthful conversations where a person tells you what it is that they need. And you have to be able to hear that and put all ego aside and realize that you are dealing with another human being and that you have to be able to truly, truly, truly hear that person and get to know them, right? So I will see you all in the next video. I think we had gotten an apple in before. Yeah, we gotten an apple in. Let me grab this apple real quick before we jump out of here. Let's see. Marsha sends $20 and says, just wanted to support you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. No, Will is not an innocent victim. This is what he's choosing for his life. This is what he wants. So we need to respect his choice as a grown man and be like, okay, we respect your gangster, baby. He wanted that little hot girl. And so he got her. And these are the things that come along with that hot gal. Just like you ladies out there who want that bad boy, there are things that come along with it. Bad gal and hot boys and all of that. There's things that come along with that. So on this note, I will see you all in the next video. Tanya TKO and I am out. Go out there and love one another. And most importantly, love. Oh! All right, listen. Somebody had to catch it real quick before we jumped out of here. So I'm not even going to mention no names. I'm not going to mention no names. But on that note, listen, I will see you all in the next video. Hey, 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 hey. Go on, and I will see you all in the next video. Go ahead and throw up your boxing glove. Hey, 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 hey. All right. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey. All right. Thank you all so much for coming out. Tech Notification Squad, you will get your notification when we go live. Happy birthday to you. If somebody yo. Text notification squad, you'll get the notification. All right.